Brothers Anna Piper, and I am your host, Kenny. Today it is our Merchant Service Monday, where I choose and pick one of my Merchant Service pipes. Today it is my large natural Canadian. Love the blast on this. Love everything about this pipe. Love its looks, love its draw. I just gave it a Charlite. Let me give it a real white now. Amazing pipe. Good tobacco I'm smoking. This is maybe the third time I've smoked it since I've received it, which is the Wings Blending Gandalf blend. Enjoy this one quite a bit. This is the one that is the fire-cured Cavendish tobaccos with sweet Virginias. This one has tones of black tea and orange with vanilla. Lovely. I don't know if anyone else makes a blend similar to this. And if you guys are aware of it, let me know and I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a try. Compare the two and let you guys know my opinion on it. But I've never seen a black tea, orange, and vanilla blend. Was discussing with my buddy Cannibal the other day that his favorite, one of his favorites, I won't say his favorite because if he was here he could confirm that, but I'm not going to confirm it. One of his favorite tobaccos is Rattray Exotic Passion. I believe they call it something different now. Oh, that's what they call it now. It used to be Rattray's Exotic Orange. And sounds like there's some similar qualities to it, except that one's got a maple topping. There's no maple in here. If there is a maple, I'm not tasting it, but there is zero. Lovely tobacco. Gorgeous, beautiful day here in north central Florida. The sun is out. Perfectly blue skies. It's a little warmer today. But I've been running around a lot this morning since I got up. You know, part of the reason I do these Merchant Service Mondays is I love these Merchant Service pipes. But as I think I explained even in my first video, I consider myself their self-appointed Merchant Service Pipes apostle. I don't think enough people know about their pipes. Now, again, the unfortunate part is they're not readily available. They do releases 3 or 4 times a year, usually probably every 3 or 4 months or so. Actually, I'm expecting another pipe drop probably just in a few weeks, either probably mid-March or April would be my guess. My guess, no insider information on that. But based upon just watching when pipes were released before, he released pipes previously during the pipe show, then he released some pipes again in November. And then in December, there was another drop, but those were exclusive to Blue Room Briars. That was that 1935, which looks very similar to the Dunhill LC. Just a gorgeous tobacco, though. Sorry for the slurp this morning, guys. Lovely. Just lovely, lovely tobacco. I wish it was more widely available. Like I've mentioned before, for me, it's great tobacco, but for me, it's a little on the pricey side. This is about $10 an ounce. I did not buy a lot of it because of the price. And you may all go, well, Kenny, $10 in the grand scheme of things isn't expensive. Yeah, it's not in the grand scheme of things. But recently I just bought some tobacco, like $1.25 an ounce. And it's good quality tobacco because I buy in quantity. So even my really beloved Boswell's is under $5 a pound, I believe, like $4.69, $5 a pound. I don't have their prices right in front of me right now, but it's literally probably about half the price of this. So something like this I will buy on occasion as a treat, but it will not become a daily smoker as much as I like it unless, you know, I buy a pound of this and I can get a really good deal on it. And it's okay to have some overly priced tobaccos. And I'm not calling this overly priced tobacco. Let me rephrase that. For more expensive tobacco, I cannot say this is overly priced. I think any tobacco is worth what you're willing to pay for it. And I'm happy I purchased the tobacco. And a lot of times, especially when it comes to custom blends, a lot is dependent upon the quality of the tobacco goes in. But even like KBV, I can pick up his tobaccos on sale. They're usually $18 for 2 ounces, but once you put them in cart, they're usually running a special and $13, $14 typically shipped. So the same amount would cost me $20 plus shipping. I think it's around $5 or so. So I'm even paying twice as much for this as I would for KBV, and that's expensive for me. So I hope everyone had a really good International Pipe Smoking Day yesterday. I had a great one. It was my wedding anniversary as well. I was able to talk to a few of my pipe friends this weekend over video chatting. Had a plan to get together with a friend this over the weekend as well. We were going to meet up at a English pub, then go to a microbrewery with our spouses. But his spouse felt ill yesterday, so we had to reschedule that. But that would have been kind of a nice icing to the cake. We had a really fancy meal planned, but unfortunately the farm that we had used to cater our stuffed lobster that we were going to get, the gentleman who does all the cooking there, Troy, had an emergency and had to leave town, but it was back today, so we'll just reschedule that meal for another time. The nice thing about being retired and being pretty kicked back like my wife and I is that we try not to sweat out the small stuff like that. You know, if you can't get a reservation or something doesn't work out on an important date, you know, there's no rules that says you've got to celebrate it that day. You know, you can do it a week later, a day later, a month later, whenever finances afford you to do it, or whether you can get a reservation on time. You know, don't sweat over that stuff if you can't make plans immediately for a day. I used to let that stuff really, really stress me out. I've got enough stuff that stresses me out, like this old house. that I've learned to let go of some of that stuff. Can't say that it helps with all my anxiety, but it has helped some. I should have learned. I should have learned to have let this tobacco dry a little more. I forget that Tim ships us much wetter. Mm. Just my morning coffee with half and half. Poker with me. I am unprepared today. Get a little bit because it's a little moist. Let's see. There we go. Mm. Beautiful. Just a beautiful flavor. I switch out between aromatics and Englishes mostly. In fact, if you were to go through all of my tobaccos, the majority of what I have are English blends, followed by some aromatics. The aromatics I smoke are usually kind of the big ones or well-known ones, like 1Q and BCA, both together and separately, even though I really don't smoke much 1Q separately. Some BCA I do. Sutliff Creme Brulee. I also have tins of Malte Dolce by them, but I consider them exactly the same. I do not taste the difference, so I won't be buying the tins anymore. I'll just keep the creme brulee. I buy that by the pound, and it's cheap by the pound, like $32. I blend my own chocolate, blend my own chocolate cherry. I've tried things like Cult Blood Moon. And while good tobacco, I think what I blend is better. Two Brothers Chocolate English or English chocolate. Again, I think that my chocolate Latakia mix is better. Nothing against theirs. I just like the taste of the chocolate in mine more. It tastes more like real chocolate. And it's not just the room note. You get a nice taste of it. And what I find with aromatics is that, contrary to what you may think, and probably against popular opinion, but I'm going to go back to my everything needs to be dried more. But I do find that if it's a little on the drier side, you get more flavor. You get zero tongue bite that way, and the flavors just seem to have been absorbed by the tobacco more. And I don't know if it's because some of that moisture is now gone, so you're tasting just the tobaccos with the flavoring instead of that flavoring and steam, which can, in my opinion, even if you're not getting tongue bite, but kind of dull your taste buds and give you generally not a good flavor. There's a YouTuber I came across who's got like a cardboard smoker or something in his name. Thought it was a funny name, and if I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. But for many smokers of aromatics, the first times they try them, that's exactly what it tastes like. It tastes like you're smoking frigging cardboard because that's too damn wet. Excuse the French in that one, but let me tell you guys, it's too damn wet. Make sure you dry those out properly. Mm. It's a beautiful day today. It's going to be really, really hard for me to want to go inside of the house today, which is not going to please my wife because there's always some chores I need to do or chores that she's doing, and I need to keep an eye on our crazy dogs. I've got one of my boys, Hugo, and one of my girls, Riley. This will be her third and final litter. She's in heat right now, so keeping an eye on them breeding. And I know what you guys are thinking. Man, that's sick. No, it's not sick. You know, we have to know exactly when they tie, if they've tied, how long they've tied, so we can mark those things on our schedule, our calendar. They generally give birth between 58 to 63 days, but we do progesterone testing and reverse progesterone testing as well, just to make sure we're really accurate on when they're going to give birth. Even though I swear to my wife I don't need it, I call myself the dog whisperer. I'm the paranoid dad who knows when the time's coming due, and I'm keeping an eye on them and their behavior, and I am batting 1,000. I am right on the money on the girls going to labor. Last time we had a delivery, no, not last time, time before last. One girl I was keeping an eye on, I knew she was going in, and I woke up my wife at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I wouldn't go to bed. It's like, honey, I'm sorry to wake you up, but it's time to get your midwifing stuff together, and Marilyn Monroe is going to be going into labor. Well, she brings her into the birthing room and gets everything all prepared, and she's already got one of our other girls in there who is due right around the same time, and sure enough, when Marilyn starts pushing, so does Bon Bon. She goes into labor at the time as well. It's like, wow. So my wife had 2 girls going to labor at the same time. She always acts as the midwife. Always. She's a mentor on a group of canine midwives. And she really, really loves it. I think if she would have not got married as young and not had children as young, she probably would have went to school and been a doctor. Her oldest daughter is a nurse, was a neonatal nurse. Now she's a cancer nurse because she's a breast cancer survivor. Had a double mastectomy. Diana, if you're watching this, I love you, and you're an awesome person. I can't wait to see you and the boys next month. So it's always nice when the grandkids come to visit. They're from Chicago area, and they're going to be down for a few days. And, love it. Love those guys. I mean, it's just the most amazing. I'll have to share that story on a different video. I'm going to have to get mentally prepared to share that story because I can get emotional. And I don't know if I want to get emotional in front of my YouTube friends. Beautiful day though today. Just gorgeous. You know, I tell all my northern friends, you know, it's the winter months and early spring, you know, that really makes me realize how much I love living in Florida and how I really don't want to live much of other places. The only other place we really considered, if we were to ever sell this place, and if we weren't to stay in Florida, would probably be in Georgia. And if I was to go to Georgia, it would probably be closer north up in the mountains someplace. I wouldn't mind the Carolinas, but the real estate's more expensive up there. There's parts of rural Georgia I can find a place pretty inexpensively with some acres. For about what I could get for this, maybe a little bit more. I can get 10 times the amount of land I've got. That being said, I can find some better areas here with more land still in the Farm Preservation District. That's my big thing, is I don't want to live in a place that I know is going to be developed by developers with housing developments and shopping malls and all of that. Even though I've got a main road that you guys hear, I'm sure of it, even with the noise reduction, that goes basically through my front yard. It's still out in the country and 20 minutes away from really anything, which to some people is a good thing. For others, it's not. I like it. I'm close enough to Ocala and Gainesville that I need doctors, hospitals, grocery shopping. We're close enough for all of that. But anymore, ever since COVID, we don't even worry about shopping that much. We call up a food delivery service and it's delivered. We've got Publix grocery store. They have Instacart. Kroger is new to our area. While we don't have brick and mortar stores, they do have great delivery, great prices, and it's actually helped me lose a bunch of weight. I'm actually pretty proud of myself today that even in fall, I was still wearing a 4XL and sometimes a 5XL. My wife bought me this Doctor Who TARDIS t-shirt probably a year ago, and I've never been able to wear it. She got the largest size I could. It's a 3XL. And I'm wearing it today, and I think it actually fits pretty darn good. So, under 300 pounds for the first time in, God, in 11 years. So, it's a big thing for me, guys. The birds are singing today. I love hearing that. You notice how my Canadians and on my beans, I hold them differently than I hold some of my other pipes. And not all the time. Sometimes you'll still see me grab them like this. But I don't find it as comfortable as like this. The only reason I don't as much, especially over the last few weeks, and I've showed you guys, and I don't mean to gross you out, but I've got all sorts of health issues, and part of that's being a diabetic, and got eczema really bad. My hands, especially where I grab this particular pipe, my hands are just torn up terribly. So it sets right there, so it's not the most comfortable to hold it that way. But part of it is from being a former cigarette smoker, as well as being a former cigar smoker. I don't smoke either of those things. And I'm not going to criticize any of y'all that do. If you do, great. I just don't want to smoke cigarettes. They're bad for your health. My doctor wanted me to quit, but more importantly, I got just fed up with smoking. Driving back from Michigan one day, and I was chain smoking with my wife as I'm driving back from Grand Rapids area of Michigan back down to Florida. And at the time, we were living in Jacksonville, and holy mother of God, I had probably smoked 2 packs of cigarettes from that drive. And wow, I was like this. I couldn't talk. My voice was off. And that was it. My car smelled horrible. I smelled horrible. I couldn't wait to shower. And I was just disgusted. We came back from that trip, and literally the next day, we drove down to Miami for a Depeche Mode concert, and smoked a little bit then, and came back and stopped and said, honey, I'm going to go out and go to a vape store and talk to them about starting vaping. My wife was never a heavy smoker. She was a social smoker, much like she drinks. She's a social drinker. Once in a blue moon, she'll be like, honey, can you get me a glass of wine? Honey, can you pour me a scotch? And yeah, I can do those things for you, sweetie. But it's not a commonplace for us. her ex-husband was a functional alcoholic. Made great money. But basically, on the weekends, all he does from the time he gets up till he goes to bed is drink. Binge drinks over the weekends when he gets off work. From the time he gets off work to like 2 o'clock in the morning, that's all he does is drink. Wrapped his car around tree several times. That's not a way to live. I was having a conversation with a friend over the weekend who had a bunch of DUIs, and I won't mention his name. Good guy, though. Really good guy. Type of guy that if you guys knew him, you'd want to be friends with him. And just because he had the DUIs doesn't mean he's a bad guy. He was just young and foolish and made some mistakes at that time. Away from his family in a new town. It happens. Especially when we're young. We do stupid shit. Because we're young. And I think the last one kind of really put the fear of God into him. And he had to serve like a DUI Ford or whatever they call it. Where, they monitor you, drug test you, check you for alcohol, and you got to go to counseling, and yada, 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 yada. And if you go through all that, then they drop those charges. But in many states, you get 2 or 3 DUIs, and it's now a felony charge. Some states, it's a felony charge on your first one, so it's not worth it. Listen, guys, it's cheaper to get an Uber than it is, or even a taxi, for Christ's sakes, than it is to get an attorney and pay the fees for a DUI. Just saying. And I don't want to be that guy responsible for taking out a family. No, I got enough guilt in my life for stupid things I've done to have that for the rest of my life. It was really good yesterday to see all of the YouTubers making videos about International Pipe Smoking Day. I gotta tell you, I watched one last night, and if you guys aren't fans of him, go check him out. But I don't know how you can't be. He's got some of the largest subscription numbers. I think he mentioned last night he's got 65,000 subscribers, which is awesome. But Mutton Chop Piper, I mostly talk about the pipes I'm smoking and rambling, but if you really want to learn about how to smoke a pipe and all about cellaring and all of the kind of little details, you got to check out Mutton Chop. And one thing, I want to give him a shout out to Semper Fi brother. If you come across my channel, I did not realize you were a Marine for 20 years. Explains why you're so squared away. I am definitely not one of those jarheads. I know guys who they get out of the military and they still get up early and they do PT and they make their bed like they did in the military. Well, maybe after 20 years, I guess, or longer. I've known guys go 20, 30 years and they keep that military mindset. I've been a civilian way too long to have that mindset now. But I'm very proud of everyone and whoever has served in the military or any type of public servant. Be it a teacher, be it a firefighter, be it a police officer. You serve in any capacity of being a nurse, a doctor even. I have nothing but the utmost respect for those who kind of sacrifice their time and their lives to helping others and trying to make this world a better place. I think it's a good thing. But military guys is probably number one, and gals on my list. Every day when they wake up, just like police officers and firefighters, they don't know if today's going to be their last day. They don't know what their orders are going to change or when they got to deploy and what tomorrow's going to bring for them. And right now, we are in a scary world right now. Scary, scary world. One of the things I really love about all of my immersion service pipes, and I know I talk about this all the time, but it's the Blast. And I don't know the source of briar that that Greg and Lynn, the owners of Merchant Service, got when they picked this briar out, but wow. I know that they've got some really good, nice aged dry briar. This is light. Even their large pipes are lightweight. I would have to put it on the scale, and I think that the large Canadians, they claim on the website, is 55 grams. And they say the small or the standard Canadians are, I believe, 40 grams. Well, mine is less on both. I believe this one's at 52 grams, and my standard Canadian is right around 38 grams. So they're really nice lightweight briar. I have a hard time trying to clinch this one without a softie because of the shape of the bet. You know, I find these types of stems easier to clench than I like this look. But again, I'm not much of a clencher. In a pipe this big, I wouldn't even try to clench anyways. This is a finger grabber or a hand grabber. I think that's going to be it today, guys. I just wanted to say happy Merchant Service Monday to everyone today. I've got my share of things. I'm sure the wife will have a honey-do list of things we got to get done today. That is it for me today. Again, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel if you are a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, thanks for watching, and hit that subscribe if you like the content and the notification. Any suggestions or ideas, please feel free to comment. I try to reply to all the comments. Sometimes I miss them, but I'll go back and read. In the future, that may not be possible, but it's just a small group right now. As of yesterday, we weren't at 100 subscribers yet. We were at, I think, 92 or so. But in any case, I love seeing the comments. I like suggestions. I've learned some things from comments, so I deeply appreciate it all. Again, thank you so much for joining me here, and you all have a blessed day today. Take care.